Sorry. Also during the fall of 2015, Cohen communicated about the Trump-Moscow proposal with Georgy Rizilzad, a business executive who previously had been involved in a development deal with the Trump Organization in Batumi, Georgia. Cohen stated that he spoke to Rizilzad in part because Rizilzad had pursued business ventures in Moscow, including a licensing deal with the Eglarov-owned Crocus Group. On September 22, 2015, Cohen forwarded a preliminary design study for the Trump-Moscow project to Rizilzad, adding, "I look forward to your reply about this spectacular project in Moscow." Rizilzad forwarded Cohen's email to an associate and wrote, "If we could organize the meeting in New York at the highest level of the Russian government and Mr. Trump, this project would definitely receive the worldwide attention." On September 24, 2015, Rizilzad sent Cohen an attachment that he described as a proposed letter to the mayor of Moscow from Trump.org, explaining that we need to send this letter to the mayor of Moscow, second guy in Russia. He is aware of the potential project and will pledge his support. In a second email to Cohen, sent the same day, Rizilzad provided a translation of the letter, which described the Trump-Moscow project as a symbol of stronger economic, business, and cultural relationships between New York and Moscow, and therefore United States and the Russian Federation. On September 27, 2015, Rizilzad sent another email to Cohen proposing that the Trump Organization partner on the Trump-Moscow project with Global Development Group LLC, which he described as being controlled by Michael Potsakin, a Russian architect, and Simon Nizhradze. Cohen told the office that he ultimately declined the proposal and instead continued to work with IC Expert, the company represented by Felix Sater. C. Letter of Intent and Contacts to Russian Government, October 2015, January 2016. Trump signs the letter of intent on behalf of the Trump Organization. Between approximately October 13, 2015 and November 2, 2015, the Trump Organization, through its subsidiary Trump Acquisition, LLC, and IC Expert, completed a letter of intent, LOI, for a Trump Moscow property. The LOI, signed by Trump for the Trump Organization and Rozov on behalf of IC Expert, was intended to facilitate further discussions in order to attempt to enter into a mutually acceptable agreement related to the Trump-branded project in Moscow. The LOI contemplated a development with residential, hotel, commercial, and office components and called for approximately 250 first-class luxury residential condominiums, as well as one first-class luxury hotel consisting of approximately 15 floors and containing not fewer than 150 hotel rooms. For the residential and commercial portions of the project, the Trump Organization would receive 1% and 5% of all condominium sales, plus 3% of all rental and other revenue. For the project's hotel portion, the Trump Organization would receive a base fee of 3% of gross operating revenue for the first 5 years and 4% thereafter, plus a separate incentive fee of 20% of operating profit. Under the LOI, the Trump Organization would also receive a $4 million upfront fee prior to groundbreaking. Under these terms, the Trump Organization stood to earn substantial sums over the lifetime of the project without assuming significant liabilities or financing commitments. On November 3, 2015, the day after the Trump Organization transmitted the LOI, Sater emailed Cohen suggesting that the Trump-Moscow project could be used to increase candidate Trump's chances at being elected, writing, "Buddy, our boy can become president of the USA and we can engineer it. I will get all of Putin's team to buy in on this. I will manage this process. Michael, Putin gets on stage with Donald for a ribbon cutting for Trump Moscow, and Donald owns the Republican nomination and possibly beats Hillary, and our boy is in. We will manage this process better than anyone. You and I will get Donald and Vladimir on a stage together very shortly. That the game changer." Difficult adversary agreeing that Donald is a good guy to negotiate. We can own this election. Michael, my next steps are very sensitive with Putin's very, very close people. We can pull this off. Michael, let's go. 2 boys from Brooklyn getting a USA president elected. This is good, really good. According to Cohen, he did not consider the political import of the Trump-Moscow project to the 2016 U.S. presidential election at the time. Cohen also did not recall candidate Trump or anyone affiliated with the Trump campaign discussing the political implications of the Trump-Moscow project with him. However, Cohen recalled conversations with Trump in which the candidate suggests that his campaign would be a significant infomercial for Trump-branded properties. Post-LOI contacts with individuals in Russia. Given the size of the Trump-Moscow project, Sater and Cohen believed the project required approval, whether express or implicit, from the Russian national government, including from the presidential administration of Russia. Sater stated that he therefore began to contact the presidential administration through another Russian business contact. In early negotiations with the Trump Organization, Sater had alluded to the need for government approval in his attempts to set up meetings with Russian officials. On October 12, 2015, for example, Sater wrote to Cohen that all we need is Putin on board and we're golden, and that a meeting with Putin and top deputy is tentatively set for the 14th of October. This meeting was being coordinated by associates in Russia, and that he had no direct interaction with the Russian government. Approximately a month later, after the LOI had been signed, Lana Irkova emailed Ivanka Trump on behalf of Irkova's then-husband Dmitry Klokov to offer Klokov's assistance to the Trump campaign. Klokov was at the time Director of External Communications for PJSC, Federal Grid Company of United Energy Systems, a large Russian electricity transmission